DreadF, Healthcare Stories. Francis Deloatch is being interviewed in an office at the Boston Center for Independent Living in Boston, Massachusetts.
Well, my name is Francis Deloatch, and I am 54 years old, and I was born with my disability, and it's called, ready? Osteogenesis Imperfecta, which basically means that the bones are brittle and they fracture easily. I can't tell you exactly how many broken bones I've had, but I will tell you they've been a lot. And as you can see, I'm short, so that's one of the side effects of, I call it OI. It also leaves some mouth deformities in terms of the teeth. When you get older, you develop hearing problems, in which I wear a hearing aid now. I started to wear a hearing aid when I was like 18, 19 years. And leaves you so that you can't walk, basically. I'm always in a wheelchair. When I go to any doctor, in terms of what I need accessibility-wise, my wheelchair, I need the doors to be wide. I need the examining tables in order for me to transfer and out myself. I need them to be able to move up and down, so I can do what I call a slide transfer, which is basically transfer on my bottom from one surface to the other. Sinks need to be low, toilets need to be a certain height, hopefully equal to my wheelchair, which they are. So I require, like, those kind of accommodations need to be accessible to my wheelchair. My doctor's office, unfortunately, is not that wheelchair accessible. The exam tables, forget it. I have to literally be picked up to put me either on the table or off the table. And that's actually, now I think about it, it's all my doctors. None of their exam tables are accessible, so they all end up picking me up. Like, when I go to the doctor's office, I'm independent. Or I like to think I am independent. And normally I am. Except when I go to a doctor's office, because I can't transfer on off the exam table. That right there takes my independence away, because I need either the doctor or the nurse to pick me up. Which they don't mind, but I do, because I feel, hey, you know, I'm independent. I know how to transfer. I can transfer. But because your equipment is not accommodating for me in terms of my wheelchair, I can't transfer myself. I would end up falling. So either the doctor or the nurse, or both, they end up picking me up and putting me on the table. If a nurse or a doctor or anybody in the medical profession, if they go and pick me up to put me on an exam table, and if they don't do it right, or listen to me so I can tell him how to do it, I will end up breaking a bone. As a matter of fact, there have been times when I have broken a bone because they didn't pick me up the right way and put me down the right way. So I have broken a leg a couple of times when I've been picked up by a nurse. And that nurse put me back in my wheelchair. My arm might have gotten caught. And my arm has broken. I have broken my arm, I'd say maybe twice. By having a nurse pick me up and put me in my wheelchair. If they got the right equipment, like a table that goes up and down, I wouldn't have to worry about getting a broken bone because I would be able to transfer myself. It's very frustrating. I know many disabled people feel the same way. It's very frustrating when you have a body that's like this, that has a certain condition, and you know what that condition is, and you try to tell somebody that, and they're not listening, and because they're not listening to you, they do the opposite of what you tell them, and they end up hurting you. It's very frustrating, because I feel that it shouldn't have to be frustrating if they would just listen to what I am telling them. And they don't want to listen because they think they know it. They don't put trust in you and say to themselves, oh, wait a minute, she's disabled. She knows her body. They don't put trust in that. So what I try to do is say, look, you can have 10 people in this room that have Osteogenesis imperfecta, and we're all going to be different. We're going to all want to be treated differently. We're all going to be treated differently in terms of the kind of care we get, how you handle us, whether it's picking us up or whether it's giving us medication or whatever the situation may be. We're all gonna be different, even though we all have the same disability. And that's what I tried to sort of beat in their heads. At one point when I was in the hospital, and I'm not sure what was going on, but I was out of it for some reason. I don't know whether I was unconscious, I don't know. I don't think I was in a coma, but maybe it's a very good sleeper, I don't know. But in any case, when I woke up and became more alert, I noticed that my right leg was hurting. And it was hurting. So finally the resident that was covering that floor, I said to him, my right leg is broken. And he just looked at me like, what do you mean your right leg is broken? I'm saying, my right leg is broken. Well, how do you know that? And I'm like, duh. I said, because I've had lots of broken bones, and I know when it's broken. Maybe it's because of the way you slept on it. I say, no, it's not the way I slept on it. Because first of all, I don't put that much pressure on my legs like that to sleep on them anyway. And I say, if you take an x-ray, you're gonna find it's broken. And I said, if you don't believe me, call my orthopedist. And he wouldn't believe me. But finally, because I think they got tired of me squawking at them, that he did call my orthopedist. And my orthopedist told him to take an x-ray. And they did. The resident came back in my room and said, oh, guess what? I said, my leg is broken, right? And he's like, yes, it is. I'm like, duh, I told you that. And I said, I don't know how it got broken, because I was out of it, so obviously someone was handling me, and they accidentally broke it. He should have right then and there believed me and took an x-ray. Right then and there said, okay, we'll send you down x-ray and I'll order an x-ray taken off your leg. Right away, he should have said to me, oh, okay. Because in his mind, he should have said, oh, well, she has OI. She knows what a broken leg feels like. She knows if she has a broken leg. And she's telling us her leg is broken. We should act on that. It made me very, very frustrated. And it also meant that my leg was going around being broken more and putting me in pain more. And hopefully by me talking about it, it can help other people know why get their needs met. Hopefully.
Healthcare stories. Made possible with generous support from the Manuel D. and Rhoda Mayerson Foundation. Francis Deloatch was interviewed at the Center for Independent Living, Boston, Massachusetts, July 2011. For more information, visit the Disability Rights Education and Defense Fund website, dredf.org/healthcare-stories. This work is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike 3.0 Unported license.